Hey, it's me, Jasveer, back again on my podcast Abracadabra with another amazing guest. We are going to chit chat about his venture, Stay Here, and Work TV. His mission is to motivate others through his ventures and make a difference to people's lives. I had the pleasure of interacting with him during the promotional interview for my book Shahenshah, but today he's on the other side of the table. Please put your hands together in welcoming Ravi Shankar. Ravi, welcome to Abracadabra.
Thank you, Jasveer. It's nice connecting with you after a long time. Yeah, it's an honor to have you here, and it's a pleasure to have somebody who's an author who's been doing this for a long time, and talking about me to an author, because your perspective is different, and I personally believe authors make a lot of difference. The reason somebody becomes a hero or gets into a limelight is because of writers like you. So so yeah, it's a interesting experience when you talk to a person who believes in writing somebody's experience. Shahanshah is one of the example. So pretty good. I'm excited.
Ravi, truly you live to motivate others and you've motivated me right in the beginning. Thank you so much. You cannot see him, guys. You can only listen to him. You can only listen to Ravi. But what I see is, person with an amazing smile, and he talks to people. He motivates them through his venture Work TV. Ravi, let's quickly have a brief about your background. Let's talk about you first.
Yeah. So as I shared my introduction, just we're 20 years of rat race. पहले 10 साल, I mean, most of people don't know. I started my career with hotel industry. I did my hotel management, and then 2-3 साल काम किया, and then I realized there's not much of the salary is very less compared to the number of hours. In the hotel industry, there's always a saying that you only know when you come in. There's no timing as such when you move out of your shift. So things were like that. Pretty good experience. Got cross-functional exposure. I was in the front office. I worked for Marriott. I worked in Goa for a couple of years, and then came back to Hyderabad. I worked in sales and marketing in Hyderabad for a small property called Golconda Resort. That time it was a very good hotel in the center of the city. Learned a lot from Harry Clement, who was then my marketing manager, who used to basically meet all his clients at a cafe, and the typical Hyderabadi cafe, and he taught me, and I was like, what is this person doing? Why is he not taking me to offices? And we are supposed to sit in the reception, meet the admin heads and all that, and he's every time, the entire day, 5 to 6 hours, we used to spend time in a cafe. And he used to make, I used to always ask him. I mean, I checked this out for a month, and then I couldn't wait. And I asked him, saying that, Harry, why are we doing this? I almost felt that he's, goofing up with the hotel. He's basically giving the impression that, he office jata hai, but ye kahin nahi jata, cave mein baithta hai. That's when he told me, Ravi, relationships happen here offline. If I go to office, knock their door and tell them to, come and, check into my hotel, will they give business? No. All I do here is build rapport. I have a tea with them. All of these corporate offices, all these employees work for a brand, but they all need a break. And when, they come for a coffee, I give them a good experience. They're my friends. Business aayega. When they have a requirement for rooms, they will definitely think of me. They'll definitely give the business to me. So, or kisi ko bhi diyega to I'm not worried, but they will definitely consider me. So this was my first marketing thing, which he taught me that relationships matter. Just knocking the door, asking that I want business from you will not get you the business. So from hotel management, that's when GE happened in Hyderabad. We were getting paid like 2,500 as a salary, and GE was paying like 8,000, 9,000 rupees for a call center role. That's when I started. I think we were the first batches to start with GE as a BPO stunt, And similarly, that time Jet Airways was hiring. So most of the hoteliers moved into either airlines, those private airlines started off, or to, BPOs. So GE happened for a year, and then, with that experience, we got an opportunity with one of the US investors, Indian investors who were ready to, set up a BPO. They wanted to do a similar thing, and क्योंकि BPO की हवा चल रही थी, a lot of offshoring, outsourcing happening. That's when they pulled two of our friends from GE and asked us to, manage the show. So I moved to that organization from a brand, taking a risk because I was getting married. So मेरे को title बहुत important है, rather than being called as a customer service representative or a SME who takes escalation calls because of the voice, etc. Assistant manager was quite interesting. So yeah, I took that role only because I wanted my father-in-law to feel good that okay, मेरा दामाद assistant manager है, कोई call center agent नहीं है. So
spoken like a true call center agent. Spoken like a true call center agent, Ravi.
Yeah. So that's the experience, right? क्या करते हो तुम्हारा दामाद, and उस टाइम में शादी होगी नहीं होगी वो भी नहीं मालूम था. That was a love marriage. So obviously, you have to play those cards, or it's not playing cards, but you have to ensure that the other person is getting convinced that okay, yes, मेरी लड़की ने सही ये लड़का चुना है, not some guy who's not settled yet. So दिमाग में वो था. I think 80% of that was a priority that time in life कि शादी करना है, कैसे भी शादी करना है इससे. Then my career. But that happened, ISS happened. Then with that experience of setting up the entire team, I think we went up to 48-seater, and then to the another center where we hired almost 800 people. So I was heading around 800 people, processing US clients. So that was a BPO experience. Then moved into बहुत night shift हो गए थे. So a lot of, almost a decade, 10 years of night shifts. Then the family was curious that, somewhere, this guy has to get into morning shifts. And then Telenor happened. I picked up this because of the morning shifts. This was a great stint, almost a decade there. Then market research. So in the entire thing, I think the first 10 to 12 years, I didn't enjoy life. I was always running. It was a rat race. I couldn't spend much time with family, though kids were born, and all those obligations, ghar karna, ghar banana, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so somewhere I felt I started enjoying the rest of the half. Like out of 20 years, the last 10 years, I started spend more time with the family, work-life balance. I was always the first guy to come into the office, and the first guy to move out of the office. Doesn't matter who. कौन क्या सोचेगा and all that. Then I realized that somehow, I think 2 years back, I realized that it's always been Ravi being tagged with a corporate. Ravi of Telenor, Ravi of G, Ravi who worked with X company, Y company, but मेरी identity नहीं है. When I look back and realize, who's Ravi? What is my identity? I don't have any identity. So that's when I started, I decided that I should move out of corporate and then, start something where I create my identity by helping others. So I was very particular about certain aspects, and that's how Work as a brand started. So WURKTV happened later, but Work as a brand started with a completely different initiative.
Right. But what I and the listeners are excited are about the fact that company chali na chali, Ravi ki shaadi ho gayi thi tab, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking
शादी भी हो गई, और ये जुनून ऐसा था कि यार कंपनी को सक्सेस करना है क्योंकि मेरा जॉब रहना है, because I have to get married. So situation was
No, that was really great. I'm so excited that both worked out. By the way, which was that company, the new BPO that was coming up? I'm going to share something really incredible with you.
Yeah.
What was that company?
ISS.
ISS. Okay. My first
Integrated.
company was also GE, but then I started off my career in Gurgaon in February 2001
Oh,
with GE Capital International Services. So just like you, I almost had the same pay grade, right? And I know how it feels to work for a company like GE. It was grand, but the money was not that great.
yeah. And you're just one of the drop in the ocean. Like itne log, and you're just
Exactly.
one guy. But yeah,
Yeah.
that was colorful. I mean, that was a good experience for
Oh,
any.
damn colorful. Yeah. Damn
Yeah,
colorful. Seeing that huge cafeteria, for somebody who was doing meager marketing jobs. Then I went to GE for an interview, and then I saw that grand office. That was really amazing. Coming from a direct marketing profile, that was really amazing for me.
yeah. I still recommend any fresher that you have to
Yeah.
get into corporates like that for the
Hmm.
first couple of years, at least 2 saal. कर लो. You get all that training at a corporate level. You get molded there, and then you move out to other organizations which need your
Yeah.
help.
True. So, guys, that was Ravi, uncensored for you. Uh, I'm sure a lot of people would be craving to listen about you. Uh, so, Ravi, let's talk about Work TV. Now, I know about this venture. So, let's talk about the idea behind Work TV, and finally, what's your vision for Work TV in the future?
Yeah. So before Work TV, Brand Work was launched. Brand Work was launched with an idea to, educate final year students, okay, who are passing out, will hit corporate. Those candidates are trained on code of conduct, sexual harassment, and true performance, and work-life issues. So the idea of work was to ensure that anybody has any issues, like तुम्हारा अभी आपको नींद नहीं आ रही because you have issues with your manager, your appraisals are not happening properly, you've been graded low, or कुछ issue चल रहा है जिससे आपका you're not able to discuss with anybody. Okay, in those situations when you have issues at work, सिचुएशन ऐसा हो जाता है कि आप किसी से बात नहीं कर पाते. You cannot talk to your colleagues because they might misuse this some other time to their benefit. You cannot talk to your friends because the friends will say, yeah, I know Ravi, तू वैसा ही करेगा, तू ऐसा ही है, I know you will end up with this problem. So they'll take it very light. Your parents wouldn't understand because they will be like, okay, they're not from the background or the corporate or the industry which you belong to most commonly. So these situations, you basically get restless, you don't get sleep, you don't have a person to talk to. That's when we built this platform where they can come, approach, talk to people like me, and we had a team of psychiatrists, psychologists, including lawyers who can actually help out if they need any help. I've also come across a lot of cases where there are a lot of startups which are evolving in India, but startups not like other countries, but यहाँ पे startups ये होते हैं कि try करते हैं, अगर वर्कआउट नहीं होता तो जो बंदे हैं उनको सैलरी भी पे नहीं करते, they just wind up. So it's not the case in the West where if it's not moving, you clear the accounts, everybody's account properly, pay all the salaries, and then wind up. So for those, we built work. We started few sessions initially, which were on code of conduct and sexual harassment. We did it in few of the universities, including University of Hyderabad. Got very good feedback, and then pandemic started. Just a couple of colleges, couple of workshops, and pandemic happened. So there was one option, either to give a reason that pandemic hai, abhi kuch nahi kar sakte, to just stay idle, or create something. So that's when Work TV happened, and friends, I mean, I would give the credits to the friends because they gave the feedback saying that already pandemic hai, don't do serious sessions. बहुत कुछ मतलब you're talking about women empowerment, you're talking about stuff like women getting harassed, a lot of domestic violence. So इसमें बहुत feedback आया. Literally friends called me and texted me saying that please stop it Ravi, we are not able to take it. that was the time I had to step back, think for a couple of days, what would really interest the audience. It has to be win-win. The audience have to enjoy it. The person who is coming online, the guest has to enjoy it. And that's when I introduced 1 Minute CM. So 1 Minute Chief Minister was an episode which is basically introducing a new personality onto the community, onto the platform, like a launch pad. And we introduce him, also play a rapid fire question, and also have this 1 Minute CM question as to what would you do if you become the minister? Okay, what is the positive reforms you will bring in?
Yeah.
So everywhere it's positivity and a bit of fun with rapid fire questions, because the guest also enjoys it. We don't share the questions. Most of the shows generally have planned questions saying that hum iske bare mein baat karenge. We don't share the questions, which you have experienced personally.
Yeah.
So, and then what would you bring in if you get a chance? So that brought in a lot of, and this was getting posted in the respective guests page. So it was going viral. Their friends got in touch. They saw it. They saw this was interesting. So I think only first 1 week or 10 days is when I started approaching everybody saying that would you be the 1 Minute CM? And rest of the time it was all inquiries where people were interested to participate. So that's how WURKTV started.
Amazing. And something very meaningful that you're talking about over here is when you initially started, it was about reaching out to people, or rather people reaching out who do not have anybody to talk to. You had psychologists on board, you had lawyers, whom they could talk. So you were kind of acting as a bridge. That's so meaningful. Even during the COVID times, so many people are isolated, alone, or maybe isolated away from their families, especially in a place like Canada, wherein there are so many immigrants, and they need for a platform to reach out. And I think WURKTV can be a wonderful platform. You can still achieve that aim.
Yeah, we're still continuing it. It's still, I still consult, people, check what help they need. If I can help with my corporate experience, I do. I specialize in code of conduct, including there were cases filed against my own manager, my own CEO, when they messed up, when they did, wrong things, because they had the power that they could do everything, because they are the boss. So things like that happen. So I'm very particular about, doing things ethically and the right way. So we still do that. We still do consulting. We still, help people out. If there is a lawyer required because, they're not able to, their company has not done justice to their complaint, etc., we get involved and, take it legally. We at least represent the candidate, if they need any help. So that's the purpose. I mean, WURKTV happened as a showcase, as an entertainment model, as a platform where we are inspiring, as a community where, friends meet. There are a lot of people using this particular platform for networking, driving their business, making friends who are like-minded. Apart from that, the purpose is to ensure that we support people, make them succeed, whether it's in terms of their life, career, or the business, whatever they're doing.
I think bravo Ravi, because when people talk about getting out of the rat race, generally they are talking about earning money. Let's do something of our own, let's start a business, let's do this, let's do that. But here you are, you're trying to make difference to people's life, and that's a wonderful thing. We need more like you, trust me, especially because of the stress caused by COVID. We need more like you. So more power to you.
Yeah, it happens. It is a fulfilling factor, and couple of achievement. And sometimes you feel that, yaar, ye kya kar rahe hain? Commercially, this is not viable and all that. But some of the things, compliments which we receive, gratitudes that we receive back from the friends, some surprising facts happened after this particular platform got launched. Somebody got a job, at a director level. One of the CEO of a multinational company, saw one of the profile, and one of our guests got a job as a director in a overseas educational firm. Okay, just imagine, somebody being hired through this particular platform, and
Wow.
he was impressed because she was pretty good the way she was talking, and he could see the humility in that particular person, and he thought that this is the person I should hire. That happened. We had cousins who met, distant cousins, like mele mein bichde hue cousins. So we had such experience. We received that. We had a lot of businesses happening, like people got references because of our platform, almost like BNI. You would have heard
Oh,
about BNI. So
yeah.
uske tarah hua hai. So sir, when you hear that, it's an interesting thing. These are the things which keep us moving. करते हैं, चलो इससे फायदा हो रहा है, yeah, let's keep moving.
Yeah. I am sure you're in for a lot of employment requests after this interview. People would be lining up, but I think that's a really wonderful thing that you've started, and really more power to you, so that you can take it forward, with a bang. Ravi, you've had a variety of people on your platform. You've had fashion designers, you've had authors, doctors, entrepreneurs, a lot of varied audience. So what has that had an impact on you as a person?
I had a lot of learning. I had to do the homework because the person, if he is a doctor, for example, he is coming and talking about colon cancer. I have to do my research. So it was like I do my homework, and end of the day I also learn. Honestly, I had no idea. I've heard about brain cancer, lung cancer, and stuff like that. Colon cancer is something which I wasn't aware of. And during this session, apart from the homework, during the session, the some of the insights that doctors share it's pretty powerful. Like colon cancer, 1 or 4 people, it is genetical. So it's genetic. So it will happen. If your parents have it, it is for sure that you will have it, and you just have to do the treatment. Some of these facts, some of the myths, these there's a lot of education. I think I'm learning a lot, and most importantly, interacting with the people, I get to know who's who. It's more of a psychological experience for me, because I'm interacting with a different person every day, sometimes 2 or 3 shows a day. And the best part is the interaction only starts 5-10 minutes before the show. So none of the guests are my friends. Okay, none of the guests who came onto the platform have been there before, or we never had even a test call. So everything happens just 5 to 10 minutes before the show.
I think that keeps the show impromptu, and
Yeah.
gets the best out of the guests as well. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Wonderful. Recently, you had a series of sessions on cancer awareness, wherein a lot of oncologists and where many caregivers also were there. Tell us something about that.
Yeah, so this is an idea from Shrenik sir. Shrenik sir wanted to create awareness about cancer, because somewhere he felt that jo bhi kar rahe hain, that once in a year program, that this is a World Cancer Day and all that is not enough. Us then just do a marathon or a walk to create awareness is not enough. There should be regular intervals of these awareness, and bringing in those doctors and making them tell that okay, cancer is curable. आपकी शुगर और बीपी क्योर नहीं हो सकती. They are like permanent effects when you have it, but cancer can be cured. So some of these things directly from the doctor really helped. One of the most important things during this particular initiative was we brought the doctors closer to the customers. बहुत लोग अभी भी जब डॉक्टर के पास जाते हैं and they're waiting in that particular waiting hall until they meet the doctor, that they have a conversation for 5 to 10 minutes. After that only the patients open up, and doctors don't have that time. So here we are letting the doctors open up, talk, have a good conversation for 1 hour, where the patient or the customer or the viewer who is watching it almost feels that okay, I know this doctor well. Okay, so if he has. I mean, we don't want every viewer to, end up in consulting them. But, if he needs his family member or, somebody he has to visit, he's at least comfortable talking because he knows him well. So that's the bridge we want to, that's the gap we want to bridge in, where customers feel comfortable talking to doctors. They also know that they're simple human beings. They have very good facts. They basically talk about myths, and they clarify what are the wrong things which we do, the do's and don'ts, what are the precautions to avoid getting into complications. So the best part is all of these doctors are so particular about the precautions rather than their business. So
yeah, I think that's something good happening over here. I learned so much from Shenik sir by writing Shahenshah, which was his story. And one of the basic things that I learned is that there is no awareness, very less awareness in India about cancer, as in "Aua bana hua hai uska." So the moment you hear the word cancer, people literally die before they actually die of cancer. They die of stress, they die of depression because they've been told that they have cancer. And awareness is something that even Shrenik, when he got operated, when he had the surgery in 97, there was very less awareness. So even he went through that phase. So that's something good that you're doing, because he had nobody to help. But when we have people like you, entrepreneurs like you, who are getting so many oncologists on your platform, that's really creating an awareness. I think that's something really good that you're doing.
Yeah. So the credit goes to Shrenik sir, because until unless वो सोच, he is not putting into action, वो नहीं होती. I mean, we are only a medium here. So credit completely goes to him. He's doing a great job. So we will support him, whatever he does, because the best part is he's also a support system who's supporting other cancer patients, giving them hope कि सब कुछ ठीक हो जाएगा. That's very important.
Yeah, he does that day in, day out. But really kudos to you and your team for creating such an amazing medium. Really, I really appreciate that. Right. So Ravi, what does Ravi the guest, and remember, not the interviewer, dream of?
Yeah, I'm still dreaming. I'm like not dreaming, but currently I'm in a state where I'm wondering what is the purpose of my life. Abhi still, वो दिमाग में है. It is still unsettled. I mean, I still have no clarity about my dream. Honestly, kabhi lagta hai I have to adopt a forest because there was a time I was always looking at least owning 1 acre or 2 acres of farmland, farming karna hai. Then I see forestry is the ultimate thing. Farming is nothing. Matlab, it's only solving a small thing. Let's do something beyond. Matlab, I'm always like, okay, usse upar kya hai? So now I realize that forestry is the ultimate thing. All this is ye sabhi chalta rahega. If not me, somebody else will do it. So kabhi forestry, kabhi aisa lagta hai something some mission related to employment, where we create employment, or at least bridge the gap between companies who have job opportunities versus job seekers who are looking at job. That employment exchange jo India mein mar chuka hai. Government is supposed to I mean, on papers, government has the employment exchange in every district, but I have not personally visited any. I have not seen any. I don't think so anybody is approaching there. But make that a reality where you don't only have jobs related to polytechnic there, but also all the IT jobs related to all the sectors. वो दिमाग में आता है. So I'm currently wondering what purpose I should like stick on and then make it happen.
Yeah.
So dreaming stage tak nahi aaya abhi. I'm still in the wandering stage.
And I think what I like about your dreams is that you can constantly think about helping others. So I think more than helping yourself, you're trying to help others. That's something really remarkable about your dreams. Right. Wonderful. Ravi, so now this is going to be very difficult. Probably the most difficult question that anybody has asked you. But I want you to pick your favorite guest and why.
Pick my favorite guest.
Pick me. No, seriously. So if you have to pick one guest who really motivated you, who would it be?
Yeah, I think, it would be Jia Agarwal, no doubt about it. She was the one, the youngest, guest I had those days, which actually led to a series. So, Jia Agarwal approached us, and then, I approached her because I saw this particular video, and then, she was like pretty cute. And then I invited her to the show, and then she was pretty excited. The way, she published that, hey, I'm, coming on TV live, and she did an awesome job. I think she had almost 45,000 views because of her cuteness. And literally made me realize that, and all the guests who have done the shows till then, everybody approached us saying that, hey, our kids will also do a show. So we started K12 TV just because of Jia Agarwal after her show, and we got all the young guests over there, all the kids out there, and she's still my favorite.
So K12 is like the younger version of WURKTV, right? Wherein you feature young.
Yes. Yeah, all the young kids, because a lot of kids are into music, drama. They have a lot of activities. More than that, there are a lot of kids out there जो बात नहीं कर सकते. They have stage fear. So we've seen parents who feel really good when such kids come onto the platform, do really well with somebody else. Okay, they speak to Adeline, and then they are like really good, and the parents are surprised. ये तो घर पे बात नहीं करता. All the neighbors and school वाले teachers बोलते हैं ये एकदम shy guy, and he is opening up so well. And some of these kids talk about their dreams and all that, which even parents are also not aware. So it is pretty interesting because it's also like rapid fire questions, only rapid fire questions. And we also got opportunity to boost some kids' YouTube channels and etc. their skills, etc. So interesting journey. Yeah.
Interesting indeed. So Ravi, if you had one message, for youngsters, for young professionals, entrepreneurs, what would be that message?
Be the face of the brand. I think this is what I've learned the hard way. Though people know me as founder of Stay Here and Work, but I have done many small stunts while I was working. I always felt that kuch to karenge. They were all good ideas, but I never took the ownership. I never wanted to highlight that this is my initiative because I was working for somebody.
Yeah.
If you be the face and you declare to the world that, hey, this is me and this is the service I do, and that is interesting, and it will definitely be a success. So yeah, be the face of whatever you're doing, otherwise it will not work. This I've heard, learned after burning my hands a couple of times.
I know what you're saying, and let me break it up for you, those who do not understand. This is typically the call center behavior, wherein a person who's worked in a call center for about 10-12 years, yaar ab to kuch karte hain apna, right? But when it comes to taking an initiative, they'll, yaar tu kar marketing, main karta hu back end ka work. And ye tu kar ye, main kar ye mein, the plans never materialize. And I can personally vouch for it, because while working in call centers, we had millions of ideas that we wanted to work on, but we could never collaborate. Remember, business is about leading the way, but then it's also about collaboration. And when you keep on saying you do this, I do this, you do this, I do this, then nobody is the front. Somebody has to take the lead. And I think, Ravi, you've actually summarized everything that happens inside a call center. Everybody is sitting and talking about yaar chalo kuch karte hain.
Yeah,
I think that's so true. Right. So guys, that was Ravi, and before I wrap up the session, I want to share something amazing about him. So Ravi had interviewed me and Shrenik sir for our book Shahenshah. And I'm talking about something which is really critical to be an amazing entrepreneur. It's humility. So when we started the interview, we found Ravi was standing, and Shrenik sir and we were wondering why he was standing, and then he said, "This is for the first time he's taking the interview while standing, because Shrenik sir is on the show. Uh, because he respects him so much." Uh, I think this kind of character, that's inbuilt in a person. You cannot buy it. You cannot gain it with experience. It's either there or either you do not have it, and that is what differentiates between a human being and a good human being. And we have over here is 100% gold in form of Ravi. And I will always remember that interview, Ravi. I had wonderful time interacting with you, and so did Shrenik sir. And this small gesture, we would always remember you, because interviewers, when you go on to a show, they expect you to blend in the way they want or as per their standards. But he was standing for him, and that was simply amazing for me. And that was a very small gesture, but I would always remember that. And that's why I wanted to interview you, Ravi.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Jasveer.
Yeah, it was lovely talking to you, Ravi. I would not keep you waiting. We are running over time. Thank you so much for taking time out, Ravi. It was lovely interacting with you.
Same here, Jasveer. And all the best. Do well wherever you are. I know you're not in India now, but jahan pe bhi ho, keep rocking.
Thank you so much. So, guys, that was Ravi Shankar for you, the founder of WURKTV. I'll see you next time with another amazing personality. Thank you so much for taking time out to listen to us. Have a great day. Thank you.